Of all WWE's shocking releases on Black Wednesday just under 2 weeks ago, one of the most surprising let-go names was Zack Ryder. Not because he had anything particularly big going on at the time, in fact, he'd been routinely buried throughout his career there, from losing the Intercontinental Championship the night after winning it, to being totally emasculated by Eve Torres at the height of his popularity. But he was one of the most loyal, lifelong fans you could hope for in a company worker, and probably made his money back just by the amount he spent on WWE action figures alone. It was always thought he'd be a WWE lifer, making his sudden release all the more cruel. Thankfully for Ryder, he's got some old friends in pretty high places elsewhere though. Zack is very popular with the late noughties WWE midcard he came up with, being best friends forever with The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, and AEW co-executive vice president Cody Rhodes. Here's Zack and Cody enjoying a double date with their respective partners, Chelsea Green and Brandy Rhodes, with a dinosaur behind them. And here's another picture of them enjoying the sweet life. Rhodes said in interviews last year that if he could sign one then contracted WWE wrestler to AEW, it would be Ryder, as he lived through Zack getting over all by himself with his Z True Long Island Story YouTube series, the precursor to the Young Bucks being the Elite, and believes if you've got over once like that, you can do it again. Cody reiterated this in an Instagram post praising Ryder immediately following news of his WWE release 10 days ago, writing, "This dude exudes passion and drive for pro wrestling like no other. Through 14 years to see him consistently try to better himself, whether that be his in-ring work or watching him physically mold himself and his body into such a specimen, drug-free, with hard work and will, I have a little rule, and that's that if you've ever gotten over in wrestling, you can always do so again. His best wrestling days are ahead of him. Future wrestling days that now seem to be very likely for Cody's All Elite Wrestling promotion. Matt Cardona, Ryder's real name, has filed for the Trademarks Internet Champion and Always Ready. Always spelled with a Z because everything is cooler that way. While hardly getting any TV time back in 2011, Zack launched his Z True Long Island Story YouTube series where he proclaimed himself the promotion's Internet Champion, complete with a pimped-up children's replica title belt covered in stickers. Although it was unsanctioned by WWE, it technically entered canon when he defended the belt against Primo, also released 2 Wednesdays ago, at a house show in Australia that same year. And it even appeared in both the WWE 13 and 2K14 video games. So what does this have to do with AEW? Thanks for your support on Patreon. I'm the captain now, Tim Phillips. The attorney Ryder used to file the trademark just so happens to be Michael E. Dawkins, who has also handled the trademarks for several AEW wrestlers, along with the released from WWE before it was cool, The Revival, who are now calling themselves The Revolt. The Internet Championship could be a very useful title to have in these self-isolating social distancing times, with the belt able to change hands in skits recorded from people's homes, most likely through the medium of quizzes, because I now know no other way to interact with my friends online without them. We'll presumably know for certain in 77 days' time, when Ryder's 90-day non-compete clause expires on the 13th of July. Do you think Zack Ryder will go to AEW? And how do you want to see the Internet Championship used there? Let me know in the comments below, because I'll be replying to people from how to quarantine. And Ryder's already given us a potential sneak peek of his new gimmicks appearance. Cardona tweeted yesterday, "I originally planned to wear this gear in 2016, but didn't. It is inspired by my wrestling trainer, Mikey Whipwreck. I had planned to wear it a few more times, but for one reason or another, I didn't get to wear it. I can't wait to wrestle again and finally wear this." And he's not the only one teasing a new gimmick in AEW on the Soch. EC3 has tweeted a workout video with the post, "I trained legs so hard today. I saw God. His eyes were aflame with fire. On his head were many crowns. He was clothed with a vesture. dipped in blood. I was left with a revelation. Only an asshole would wear their own merchandise while they worked out. #FreeEC3. Where Chris Jericho's AEW entrance music Judas can be heard in the background. Training montage! This isn't the first EC3 Jericho tease we've had in the last several months, with the Champion posting on Instagram in February about great chat with EC3 tonight in Orlando. Big things coming in the future for this talented brother, and tagging All Elite Wrestling, with a picture of the two on a night out. Do you think EC3 could be a good fit for the inner circle? Let me know in the comments. Before we get on with the rest of the news, I'd like to say a big thank you to this episode's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. VPN. But what is a VPN, you might ask? It's a virtual private network, which means your smartphone, laptop, tablet, whatever can trick the internet into thinking it's somewhere else. Where are you, Luke?
Well, my laptop thinks I'm in America, where I'm watching US Netflix, which is way better than the UK one, but I'm actually in West London.
What about you, Adam?
Hulu thinks I'm in Canada, the idiots. I'm actually in London.
And you, Pete?
Even though
I've ran out of time for Pete. But for you, yes you, I'll bet you've got a lot of time right now in self-isolation. So get yourself Surfshark VPN using our special links below, because then you'll have access to an entire world of content by kicking geo-blocking in the butt. And for all our American viewers, you can use it to access BBC iPlayer to watch all our ridiculously short-lived comedy series. How have we only got 14 episodes of The Office? Make sure to use our promo code WrestleTalk too, because that gets you a massive 83% off and a month free. Surfshark are really helping support us here at WrestleTalk during these hard times. So please at least click the link below and check them out. And then you can be just like Carl Anderson, who's currently based in the United States with his hot Asian wife, but whose future appears to be in Tokyo, Japan. After teasing a Bullet Club return to New Japan, reviving his pre-WWE machine gun gimmick, Anderson and his good brother Luke Gallows have brought back their Talk and Shop podcast while in self-isolation, where he tweeted about a potentially fantasy warfare soon getting real matchup. The Young Bucks versus the former Revival versus the mother effing Bullet Club. Let's talk about it, while tagging everyone involved. Which got a terrifically snarky response from the wrestler formerly known as Dash Wilder, now called Dax Harwood. Just make sure you bring the Saudi trophy. Trophy emoji! Saudi trophy to AEW confirmed. WWE's Black Wednesday didn't just see the company release on-screen talent like Rusev, Gallows and Anderson, Eric Rowan and Sarah Logan, though. The promotion's overly conservative, their words not mine, cost-cutting, also fired and furloughed numerous backstage and corporate names, like producers Lance Storm, Fit Finlay and Billy Kidman, reportedly letting go up to 40% of their total staff. Unlike the released main roster wrestlers though, we still don't know the full off-screen list, as WWE hasn't made those names public. As a result, we're still only just hearing about some of them, like the latest release to be confirmed on the Grilling JR podcast, with Jim Ross and Conrad Thompson talking about WWE furloughing longtime lead director Kerwin Silfels, which has since been corroborated by Dave Meltzer. Silfels first joined WWF in the mid-1980s and has been credited by the likes of Bruce Pritchard for the creative direction of many legendary stars, most notably him being the lead director for the famous Mr. Perfect hype promos. His name was also used for Chavo Guerrero's short-lived gimmick prior to his uncle Eddie's death, Kerwin White, the bleach blonde golf player. WWE was really bad in 2006. Fightful add that his release is part of WWE's cost-cutting measures during the Steve Corino situation, with the company furloughing long-term staff who have higher paid contracts, and also older employees who travel for live events, as their age puts them in a high-risk category. Two criteria that Kerwin ticks, as does the head of the company, Vince McMahon. If you thought SmackDown's 25th anniversary celebration of Triple H last Friday was needlessly long and required some of that furloughed experience direction, you're actually reportedly correct. According to Fightful, the main event anniversary segment was only meant to go 10 minutes, but when they edited everything together, it ran for double that length. So rather than trim it down, WWE decided to cut everything else on the show, taking away time from those stars they're trying to get over now Brock Lesnar isn't champion anymore, Vince? Instead, they went for 20 minutes of Triple H making in-jokes and for McMahon to cut a rambly promo blaming his son-in-law for things like Bayley's This Is Your Life segment and Katie Vick. And this is apparently because McMahon has simply lost it backstage. WrestleVote shared a screenshot of a text message between them and their source with the caption, "Oh boy, lol," which says that Vince has been deeply affected by the closure of the XFL, WrestleMania being performed in front of no fans, and Steve Corino forcing WWE off their road schedule, and that he's evolved into a new super gimmick, the Screw It McMahon. This source adds in the text message that the new Screw It Vince could be wild for fans over the coming months. It might take some time to get Screw It Vince over though, as the Triple H segment certainly didn't help SmackDown's ratings, which got crushed by the NFL draft to draw barely over 2 million viewers. That's SmackDown's lowest number on Fox to date, which debuted on the network only last October with 3.8 million viewers. In just 6 months, WWE have lost almost half their audience. Not only that, but the second hour main evented by the Triple H celebration appears to have made people switch off while it lost viewers. What are the 10 funniest moments of WWE's ruthless aggression era? Click the video on the right to watch Adam Blompier's latest list. And how did Bray Wyatt use horror movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween to create his Fiend character? Click the video below that to find out in the latest episode of Wrestling Explained. And please check out Surfshark VPN to support WrestleTalk. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.